There's no place I'd rather be than here with you. That's all I need. There's no one I'd rather see close to me. That's all I need.
So if you're doing this project with me and you're doing it right now, fold your fabric into two. That's the first step. So yeah, and then now I'll just go ahead and take the length of the dress. So I'm cutting out the back piece first because the front piece is where I'll be having the wrap. So I'll go ahead and cut out the back piece. So 30 inches is how long I want it to be for me. Go ahead and indicate how long you want yours. Now I'll be taking my shoulder. I'll be tracking down my shoulder, and my shoulder is 16 inches. Divide that by 2, it gives you 8 inches. From that point, I'll take 1 inch as my slope. Usually I take 1.5, but yeah, for this dress I'll be taking 1 inch. I'll just connect that point to the neckline with my ruler. You can go ahead and use your hand if you know how to get a straight line from one point to another, but I'm not good at ruling straight lines. Even with ruler, you can see how messy it is. So now I'll just go ahead and mark my armhole. My armhole is 16 inches. Divide that by 2 gives you 8 inches. I'm just making sure this part also is 8 inches. I'll just go ahead and connect that point, the armhole point, to the slope. And yeah, that is where my armhole will be sitting. From that point, I'll go in with a horizontal line. That is where the armhole will be sitting. Now I'll just go ahead and take points. That's my bust points, my waist points, my hip points, and the length. That is the points we need for this dress. So the first point is my bust points. That is 10.5. So you go ahead and find out how many inches from your shoulder is your bust point. You just place your tip from your shoulder to the point where your nipple is. I have a video that can guide you to getting your points and your round measurements if this is your first time, as you want to create something for yourself and this is your first time, you don't know how to take body measurement. Let it not sound weird or let it not sound like it's something that is hard. You can easily take your measurements, and I have a video for that. The next point is my waist point, which is 15 inches. So yeah, why I take points on the same point is just for me to be able to rule a straight line. I am not good at taking straight line, so I use my ruler, and then I have to do this to, I have to go through all this process to get a straight line. So this is how I take my hip point. I place the tape from the waist point. 9 inches below is my hip point. So if I place the tape on my shoulder, that means my hip point is 24 inches. But this is how I take it because it is quicker to me. I'll place my tape from my waist point, and then I'll take 9 inches below. That is my hip point. So now divide all round measurements by 4. The first point is my bust. I'll divide that by 4. 36 inches divided by 4 gives you 9 inches. And then I'll be taking half an inch allowance. That is how much allowance I take. So you can go ahead and add more allowance if you want to be on the safer side. You can take 1 inch, but I'm taking half inch. So I'll just connect that point to the armhole with a straight line using my ruler. So now to get my armhole, I'll find the middle point on the where the armhole is, and from the middle point I'll just rule a curved line to meet the point where the bust line is meeting the armhole. So now just divide my round waist by 4 inch. I'll divide it by 4, and that's 7.5. So go ahead and find out what your round waist is. and then divide that number by 4. I'll connect this to the bust line, that's the waist. I'll connect the points to the bust, so you can see the dress is coming into form. So now divide my round hip by 4. My round hip is 42, divided by 4 gives you 10.5. So I hope your project is coming out cleaner and better than mine, because yeah, I never know how to rule any line. Always coming out. And then this fabric is just so movie, like it's shifty. It doesn't, I tried not for it not to move, but still it's just so, it's chiffon. So if you work with chiffon a lot, you should know how chiffon is. So I'll just connect the line from the hip straight to the length of the dress, and that is all the markings. So I'm just going to shaping out this so there's no sharp edge, because there isn't on our body, there's no sharp edge. So I'll go in with my scissors and cut this out. This is the back piece. I'll take the neckline before I go ahead and cut out the front piece, but this is the back piece. This is how you make any dress. That's dress without that. This is it. So you can increase the length, and then you can put a ruche by the side, and then you have a ruche dress. That is it. Very simple. This is the neckline for the back piece. So okay, yeah, the neck, I think the neck width is 3 inches. The neck width I took is 3 inches, and the depth is 1 inch. I'll go ahead and cut this out, and I'll also trim on the shoulder. I'll trim it out. Now I'll just go ahead and place this piece on the front piece, on a fresh fabric to cut out the front piece. So before placing the back piece on this fabric, I'll just go in and take 6 inches from the shoulder straight to the length of the dress. So 6 inches is going to be the allowance that will help this wrap. So the front piece, the allowance is 6 inches to get the wrap. So you can go ahead and take 7 inches. You can go ahead and take more if you want this to really wrap. But then 6 inches is how wide I want my wrap to be. Now I'll place the back piece from that line after the 6 inches line. That is where I'll be placing the back piece, and then I'll trace. So you make sure that this sits after the line. That's after the 6 inches line. You make sure your back piece just sits immediately after, or on the line. Now I'll go ahead and extend the waist line. That's the waist point. I'll extend it to the front piece, because that is where the whole wrap is just going to connect to. So now from the beginning of the 6 inches, I'll connect it to the neck width. That's the neckline, the width on the back piece. I'll indicate the width on the front piece, and then I'll connect this to the waist. So you can go ahead and give this a curve, whatever curve you want it to be. You just go ahead and create what you want. But then I'll be using my ruler, and on the way I realized that the ruler wasn't going to help, so I used my free hand and I go ahead and connect this to the waist. Now after connecting, I went ahead to cut. So all you just have to do is connect it however you want it, and then cut it out. So now I'll be connecting this now to the length of the dress from the waist. I'll connect it to the length of the dress, and this is how I'll be doing it. I'll go in by 3 inches. I'll come out by 3 inches on the length, I'll just indicate that 3 inches. And then I'll connect that point to 1 inches below the waist with a curve. So you go ahead and create whatever curve you want there. If you don't want it to have a curve, you want it to be straight, you just go ahead and connect it straight to the 3 inches. Or you just connect it straight to the length. You don't even need to do this curve. You just go ahead and connect it, cut it straight. But then I want a curve because I'll be attaching the fillet. So that is the style, that is how I want to create mine. So you just go ahead and create what you want.
There's no place I'd rather.
So I'll indicate the wrong side because this fabric looks the same on the wrong side and the right side, so I just need to put the chalk on this side, so yeah, I don't mix it up. This is how I'll be joining the back piece to the front piece. I'll place them like this, and you can see how the wrap, like it already wraps, like see, this is how the wrap is going to look like. And then I'll sew in the sides and the shoulder. So this is it, you guys. You can see I am done sewing, and I want to attach my fillet. But before I do that, I have to find out how long the fillet is going to be, like how much fillet I need. And then to do that, I'll place my tape from this point, because this is where the fillet is going to sit from. I'll place my tape, and then I'll calculate this to the point I want the fillet to stop, which is the other end. And then before I cut out the fillet, I'll hem the neckline. So yeah, I'm just hemming the neckline. So if I was doing a facing, I'll cut out facing and then yeah, but no, I'll just hem. And this is how I'll be cutting out the fillet. This is not the fillet I use. This is not the exact length I use. I use the longer length, but this is an illustration of how I cut out the fillet. I have videos that can give you, like, that can guide you into cutting fillet. So you can go ahead and check my previous video and then see how I cut out the fillet. So that is how you cut out fillet. And then you guys, this is the fillet I am using. This is how long the fillet, this is how much fillet I need for my wrap dress. So I'll go ahead and place this right side facing right side on the dress, and then I'll attach the fillet to the dress. So this is the result, you guys. I'm actually loving it. I've always wanted to own one of this, but then so I had to join my fillet. That is why you can see how it looks. I had to join, yeah. So this is the point where the band will be sitting. So I'll go ahead and cut out a fabric for the band. This is my band. So you can go ahead and make it as long as you want, and the width to as wide as you want. So go ahead and create whatever you want, but this is the steps. This is just a guideline, so you can go ahead and be more creative. You can just do something, I don't know, just create whatever comes to your head. Just create. So now I'll just place my tape and find out how wide my sleeves would be. And this is the fabric for the sleeves. This is one way I cut out my sleeves. I just go in by 3.5 inches. I go down by 3.5 inches. And then on the top, I go in by 3 inches. And I'll connect both points together with a curve, and that is it. This is one way I cut out sleeves. I'll be uploading the video of another way I do cut out sleeves. So there are different kind of sleeves though. There are fillet sleeves, just sleeve that you can cut out the same way you cut out fillet, but then what you'll be working with is going to be your round armhole. So I'll make sure this is the same as the number I got on the armhole. So I'll go join the rest allowance. I'll join. So I'll duplicate this on the next fabric, and then I'll go sew. So this is the band I sewed and turn it to the right side, and then this is how I'll be attaching it to the points. I'll fold it in and then place it like this on the fabric, and I'll sew on top. I'll just sew. I'll make sure I sew twice so it doesn't pull. And this is the sleeves, you guys. I'll just go ahead and attach the sleeves to the dress. Now this part is where I create the channel for the band, one of the band to pass through. So while I was ironing, this fabric almost burnt. That's on the band, one of them almost burnt, but thank God I saved it at last. Like, I found out in time. Something made me check, and then when I checked, it was almost burning. Like, what's up? Like, I was ironing and I didn't know that the iron was like on the highest, and almost burnt the band. So the channel is created already, and then this is where the band is going to pass. So make sure the hole you create for the band is wide enough to occupy your band. Is wide enough to allow it pass through without it being forcefully pushed or forcefully dragged. So I'll just hem the base and the dress length, and this is, you guys, you made it to the end of the video. Thank you, you're amazing. So hope this video was interesting and then you were able to learn. Let me know in the comment section. Let's chat. Let me know if you like the dress, if you like the color I used for my fabric, and what color will you be using for your project, for your own project. What color are you using? Let me know. And if you're able to make one, share pictures. You can find me on Instagram. You can send me a message on my email. I want to see. Send me something. I want to know you guys are actually watching and you guys are learning. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on my next video.